All right, now it's time to get to a rather tricky one. I want to make it so that when I click on these things, it's going to create a filter by that color. So we're going to create a filter here. We're going to have a color filter, const color filter, set color filter, actually filters. And it's going to be use state. It's going to be a string array. And by default, it's going to be empty. When I click on one of these, I want it to add that to the array if it doesn't already exist in there. So let's create another function. It's going to be add color filter. And it's going to pass in a string, filter string. It's going to check to see if it's in color filters already. So if, or check that it's not. If not color filters dot includes filter. So this just checks if this array includes it already. And if it doesn't, then I want to add it to the array. And the way I do that is by calling set color filters. And we're going to use that spread operator again. We're going to spread the original color filters, and then we're going to add the new filter to the mix. So we got this add color filter here. We got our color filters. Now, down here where we're creating our element, this is where I need to add the onClick. So first I want to add the cursor pointer like that. So now when I mouse over these, they have pointers. And then onClick equals, and then we're going to call that add color filter. Now, the problem is it doesn't have access to this. So this does actually now need to go inside of our other function. So it has access to the add color filter. So I'll put this get element thing inside of our other function, get element from cost. And we're going to onClick call add color filter, and we want to pass in that cost. Okay. So how do we know this is working? Well, what I want to do is kind of track if the color filter changed. And I can do that with what's called a use effect. Use effect it allows us to run code and trigger a re-render when a variable changes. So we import use effect, and it looks like this. Use effect, we pass in a handler function and an array. The array is what triggers, I guess, what variables are being tracked to cause the re-render and run the code. So color filters is what we're tracking. And then inside of here, we can just run code. So we'll say console log color filters. And now when I run this, if I click, I should see my color filters appear here. WU. Let's see if we can get more black, red, green. Hey, we got all of them in there. If I try to click this again, it doesn't add it again. If I click this, it doesn't add it again. So it only can add it once. That's awesome. So color filter is working. It's not filtering anything though. So now inside of here is where I actually want to apply that filter. So what we're going to do is create another variable called filtered cards, set filtered cards. It's going to be the same exact default one, which is going to look like this. All right, so anytime the color filters change, we're going to apply the filter to the filtered cards. So how does this look? Well, this is where it gets pretty complicated. So what I want to do is for let I equals 0, I is less than color filters dot length, I plus plus. We want to iterate through our color filters. And then for each of those, I want to filter my starting one by I'm going to need a default array or temporary array. So let's say const actually because we're going to be modifying this one, let temp array equal, and by default, I want it to equal the current sorted cards. The current sorted cards. Weirdly enough, the current sorted cards is what it's going to be defaulting to. And actually, I want to track if sorted cards changes, and that needs to trigger a re-render as well, because we're going to be applying these concurrent with each other. So I have my temporary array, and I want to filter it to only temporary array dot filter. And what filter looks like, let's actually grab that documentation, filter JavaScript. The filter method of an array creates a shallow copy of a portion of a given array, filtered down to just the elements given in the array. So we're filtering by, we're taking each value and then we're doing some kind of Boolean comparison here. So in this case, its word length is greater than 6. So it only gives you the ones that are greater than 6. In our case, we want to filter it to only the ones that include that color. That include whatever color we're currently looking at. So we'll say card, and then we want to say card dot mana cost dot includes color filters I, just like that, I believe. So we're just checking if the mana cost includes that color filter. So let's imagine that our color filter, is red and green. And let's imagine that our card is red, blue, and green. So this is our card's mana cost, and this is our color filter. Obviously, it's got curly brackets. So we're going to iterate through our color filters with our card. We're going to go through our array, which at first is going to be sorted cards. So it's going to be all of our cards that are sorted. It's going to go through the color filter. So the first one will be red. It's going to filter our array if the card's mana cost includes red, which means that this card would be included there. And then it's going to go to green, and it's going to filter, and it's going to take that currently filtered one and reduce it down again. And this is creating a shallow copy, which actually means we need to say temp array equals this. So we need to cast it to this. And then at the end, we're going to say set filtered cards to the spread temp array, because that's how we set to this. It's just what we do. It's weird. It's a React thing. So we got our set filtered cards temporary array. And the final thing we need to do is just change what we're mapping. This should be temporary array now. Oh, sorry, this should be filtered cards now, I believe. Let's go back over here. Click. Now only the white cards, or only the cards that have white in it, will appear. So, hey, this is a good one to practice with. Let's go white and black. Look at that. So we got only white and black, blue, green, red. The Sliver Queen, one of every single type of mana. Okay. So we got our Sliver Queen, one of every type of mana. The last thing we need to do, this is kind of a long video, but I want to make it so that my filtered cards go up here. So what I want to do here is map these, and we're going to use this same function, I believe, get element from cost. I think that's fine, but I want to change it to have two different possible things here. So we're going to say add Boolean. So this is going to be whether it's adding or not. And now when we're calling it, I'm going to have to say true here. So in this case, I want to add to the Boolean. And then we're going to check that here. And we're going to say add question mark. If it is add, we want to do this. Otherwise, we want to call delete color filter and pass cost in. So we're going to have to create a new function for deleting. Function delete color filter, filter string. And then all we need to do here is set color filters to be the spread of color filters dot filter no we'll say let's just say X because I can't think of anything. Oh my gosh, it's too late at night. Whoops. X, and then we'll say X does not equal filter. So it's only going to include the ones that do not equal the current filter. And I don't know how to explain it any better than that. So basically, it's only going to, so if I pass the red filter in, then I want to delete that. So if I have blue, black, red, it's going to go, okay, does it match? Blue doesn't match. Okay, keep that one in. Red doesn't match, or red does match, take that one out. Black doesn't match, keep that one in. So essentially, we're just taking out the ones that do match whatever filter's being passed in the delete here. And then the final thing we need to do is next to mana cost, we need to map. We'll say color filters.map. And we're going to map those color filters to our get element from cost. Get. I love when we can reuse functions like this. We're going to pass the value in. We can call it filter. I don't care. We're going to pass the filter in. We need to also pass the index in. So we're going to pass in the filter, the index, and false in this case, because this is going to be for deleting. And look at that. The filter's populated up here. I can remove them. And look at that. It's just showing the black cards now. The great thing about this is that the sorting still applies. They're all working concurrently with each other. I can still sort without breaking my filter. I can say black and blue, and it creates these ones. I can sort now. I can sort this. I can sort by CMC. So, yeah, we have concurrent filtering and sorting. And yeah, I think this is functioning exactly how we want it to. Nice.